Going on, Jerome's. Mercifully, the NFL draft is very, very, very close. And now, as we peruse mock draft 79.2, I feel like over the last couple weeks and months and even your years, I'll be there for you. That we have a decent idea of where the quarterbacks are going to go. Although, of course, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. But I feel like the only quarterback where we know he's going to go is very likely Caleb Williams to the Bears. But in terms of reading the tea leaves and trying to sort through the BS, like this is us during draft season, going through the BS. Sylvia agrees. What up? Just like keep on swimming. So here's our best guess as of right now, where the hell all these quarterbacks are going to go, the team as well as the pick and whatnot. Sylvie. Oi. So I've noticed this. I feel like cats do this intentionally. Where, say, you have the remote here, and then you set the remote down, they will take their anus and fluff up their tail and put the anus directly on the remote just to mark their territory and assert their dominance. They're very passive-aggressive. Or maybe it's just a Minnesota cat. I don't know. Anyways, but so Williams won to the Bears. They're going to ruin our guy, the pride of USC. Mekhi Blackman, 2 pick 6 is the first time they square off. Jordan Addison proving that Caleb Williams ain't poop without him. That's right. But Williams to the Bears. Godspeed, son. We'll see you in 4 years when your Drake May's back up. Oops, spoilers. Commies at 2. Jaden Daniels. Where I just feel like, so the draft starts with the commies because everyone knows that Williams is going to the Bears in all likelihood. And Daniels, I feel like there's the fewest question marks around Daniels, May, and McCarthy. I mean, May can be high variance. McCarthy, you wonder if he's more than just a glorified game manager. I think that he can be in the right situation. But Daniels, even though Daniels, his Arizona State career was, and also his first year at LSU was, last year putting together for the Heisman. Now, was he the product of BTJ and Malik Neighbors, or Malik Neighbors and BTJ the product of Jaden Daniels? Who knows, man? But I do think that Daniels with Scary Terry and company could do some things in Washington, and they need to win back that fan base. New ownership, new GM, new head coach. It's a new day, a new dawn. I think that Daniels and Cliff Kingsbury could do a little something in the nation's capital. Next up, so J.J. McCarthy. And the reasons why Patriots at 3, we've discussed. So Bob Kraft, fan before he was an owner, he wants a quarterback that's going to be like his son. And he had that with Drew Bledsoe. He had that with Tom Brady. He tried to have that with Mac Jones. And I think that McCarthy is definitely son material. And you look at how he just listened and was obedient and was a good boy for Jim Harbaugh, and the fact that he set aside his own stats for the glory of the team, and he's a winner wherever he's gone. And plus, don't discount Bob Kraft and the Patriots being like, Tom Brady went to Michigan. J.J. McCarthy went to Michigan. Let's go J.J. McCarthy. Yeah, so I actually do think that McCarthy could go 2 or 3. I think that... So the media sees this as a meteoric rise. I think the media is just catching up to where the league sees J.J. McCarthy right now. So I think that the Patriots will take J.J. McCarthy. That will open the door. Let my love open the door to Drake May. So the Vikings, they maneuver up. Now, where do they go? Who knows? Do they trade up to 4 with the Cardinals? Do they get up to 5 with the Chargers? Don't really know. Or does Drake May even take a little bit of a draft day tumble? Because if he gets by 6 in the Giants, I mean, he could fall all the way to the Vikings at 11. But either way, I think that the Vikings will have a serious shot at one of the big 4 quarterbacks that falls out of the top 3, and it could be Drake May. And May, so the reasons why Washington and New England would pass on May is that May is the type of quarterback, if he doesn't have an infrastructure right away, could fail, could bust. But with the Vikings, no pressure to start right away. 2 great tackles, all the weapons, Kevin O'Connell, Josh McCown, indoor stadium, all that stuff. And Drake May can sit behind Sam Darnold for a year, really fix up those mechanics, and really learn how to be a pro's pro, and everything will be good to go. So I think, personally, Williams is going to be ruined by the Bears, so it doesn't really matter. But personally, I think that Commies, Daniels, McCarthy, Patriots, the Vikings, May, make the most sense for all three teams, because all three teams are in different stages of where they're going to be. And I think that the quarterback corresponds with where each team is at and what the team's goals are for short and long term. So I think it could be a win-win-win no matter what. Next, the second wave of quarterbacks. So you got Bo Nix going to the Broncos in the first round at number 12. You have the Raiders with Michael Penix Jr. at 13. And skill set wise, I feel like it syncs up. Now, initially, I was going to put these guys in the second round, but also we're going to try and express that, hey, the Raiders were at 44 in the second round. They could trade up into the first round. The Broncos don't have a second-round pick as right meow. So if they're going to take Bo Nix, maybe they trade down. Maybe they take him later in the first round. But either way, the secure services. And all the comps with Bo Nix is like, oh, he's Drew Brees. Oh, he's Drew Brees. Oh, he's Drew Brees. Even though Drew Brees at Purdue, fucking the day, was a bad ass. Right, and there's Drew Brees was, I believe, the number 32 pick in his draft class, because I think there was 31 teams at that time. It was before the Texans came in, so he was the first pick of the second round. I remember that. But he went to the Chargers, banged up his shoulder, was replaced by Phillip Rivers, that whole thing. But people remember Drew Brees with the Saints putting up Lulu numbers in the Superdome with stupid ass Sean Payton as his OC, but I mean, his arm strength had been diminished by age as well as that shoulder injury by then. But he's beating you with his mind. Now, Bo Nix, is he in Drew Brees' class? I don't know. But stupid ass Sean Payton is finna find out. Michael Penix Jr., I hate using young people nomenclature. I've reached that age where it sounds really stupid coming out of my mouth, and I regret it right away. Doesn't matter. But Michael Penix Jr. going to the Raiders. So I feel like, Antonio Pierce is a defensive-minded head coach, but I feel like he resonates with quarterbacks very well. Whether it's O'Connell, well, not Jimmy Garoppolo, but whether it's O'Connell, whether it's Jaden Daniels at Arizona State or in high school, I feel like Penix and Antonio Pierce are just going to get along. I feel like they're going to be on the same page. And Penix thrown to Devontae, got Colton Miller watching, well, I guess his front side. But I feel like Penix could do some really good things with the Raiders. So I think it's a good spot all the way around. Then outside of the first round, so we got Spencer Rattler going to the Giants. So the Giants certainly could and should be in at quarterback at 6. But say they get boxed out, they go a different direction in the first 2 rounds. And then the third round, they could sneak around and get Spencer Rattler in the third. Now, what would be nice is that I think that there could be a gap between the top 6 quarterbacks and the third wave of QBs, because every team that desperately needs a quarterback is already satiated. They already got their teeth into some beef. And with Rattler, I feel like Rattler is Brian Daboll's kind of guy. Like, he is a rambler. He is a gambler. Like, he doesn't have the arm upside of Josh Allen, but he's got enough. And he will try a little something. So this might be a bad comp, but he kind of reminds me of Joe Cap, where he's a shorter quarterback, not with the strongest arm in the world, but very cocksure, very confident, and will get after it. And also, I mean, people criticize Rattler because of that QB1 documentary, but I think that he has grown and shown a lot over the last couple of years. I think he got humbled when he lost his job, despite being 5-0 at Oklahoma to Caleb Williams. And then the last couple of years in Carolina, like, it's been him and Xavier Legette against the world. That's basically about it. But I mean, Rattler might start for the Giants. Daniel Jones come back from that ACL. They got Drew Lock, so who knows? Michael Pratt with the Falcons. Now, what's interesting is some of his comps are Kirk Cousins. All right, so you have a guy who functions very well in the flow of the offense. Pratt does have some decent mobility as well. 4-year starter for the Green Wave. Maybe not as tier 1 of an arm as Kirk Cousins, but a guy that can functionally operate the offense. Sure. Now, did the Falcons have that in Desmond Ridder? I mean, kind of. I mean, sure. And also Ridder was taken in the third round a couple of years ago as well. But in terms of getting a moldable young quarterback that could sit behind Kurt and maybe take over in 2027, sure, Michael Pratt could be it. Next up, Jordan Travis, 5th rounder to the Saints at 150. Now, the Saints and Derek Carr, they're sort of stuck because of cap reasons, but I feel like that they would want to work with a young quarterback behind Derek Carr. And Jordan Travis, I mean, Travis might have been in the back end of day 2 if he didn't have that injury, the broken leg and whatnot. But, I mean, Jordan Travis, Love his attitude. I love that he throws with anticipation. He and Keon Coleman did some really good things at Florida State, but he just doesn't have that tier 1 arm strength or velocity, that's going to make him an everyday starter in the NFL. But could he come in and be an interesting type backup, a guy that has some starter upside? Could he be, a Gardner Minshew type quarterback? Sure. I think he certainly could. Other end of the spectrum in terms of arm strength, Joe Milton III, Tennessee by way of Michigan, Colts. All right, so you got Milton's mobility, you got the cannon of an arm. Now, ideally, you want to sync up your starter and your backup, and I think that Milton III backing up Anthony Richardson makes sense. Now, I understand they got Joe Flacco right now, but long term, Milton III work on the practice squad. Stan Steichen breaks down his mechanics, builds them back up, and also remember Steichen was the guy who first came up with the tush push. Now, Anthony Richardson and Joe Milton III certainly could work that, given his size and plus, I mean, you can have some fun trick plays. And I've said that, hey, if Joe Milton wanted to become a better version of Taysom Hill, that would be legit. That'd be legit, man. But a 5th rounder, 151 to the Colts. Sam Hartman coming out of Notre Dame. Now, Sam Hartman should just go in the booth. I mean, he's very knowledgeable, very well-spoken, and also very, Hollywood handsome. So just put his ass in the booth and have him call games. But want to have some fun, let's have some fun. So the Niners at 251 in the 7th round, taking Sam Hartman to be the backup for Brock Purdy. Now, it's not 262, which Brock Purdy was back in the day as Mr. Irrelevant, but Sam Hartman gets to play under Shanahan for a hot second and then go into the booth. There we go. Lastly, Tulio Tagovailoa coming out of Maryland, formerly at Alabama. Yes. All right, so go back up to and that's it. I mean, that's really about it. This quarterback class is fun. And this has a chance to be one of the best, be one of the deepest quarterback classes in NFL history. And frankly, I can't wait to come back and look at this in 5 years and see where everyone ended up, because not everyone's going to be great. And a big factor in it is where the player lands. And I mean, the Bears are a mess. They're trying to get better, but they're still a mess. The Commies are a mess. The Patriots are a mess. The Vikings are good to go. Broncos, Raiders, decent. Giants, Falcons, aight. Saints, no. Colts, upside, yes. But it's going to be crazy. Like, some of the top tier guys are going to bust badly, and some of the bottom tier guys are going to rise up, win a QB2 job, come in due to injury, and take over the starting job and just never leave. That's what's going to happen. And I can't wait to see, like, Caleb Williams backing up Drake May in 4 or 5 years. I can't wait until Spencer Rattler tries to bring the G-men back to relevancy. I can't wait till Jordan Travis gets his ish together with the Saints and gets things done. I can't wait for Joe Milton III to magically get things together. Then the Colts trade him for multiple first rounders to replace Caleb Williams with the Bears. It's good, man. But your thoughts are thoughts. Predicting where the NFL draft quarterbacks are going to land. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But next time, Skol, production value.